Wait a minute, I gotta make sure it's working. 3, 2. Oh no, it's not high enough.
Damn it, Jason.
Leave it alone.
This is why we can't have nice things here.
Okay. I gotta prop it up because I gotta make sure it's heard. Just pump. What's up, guys? I'm Schwiggly Schwa here for another fantastic week on our fantastic podcast with more fantastic people. All right, guys, you know the drill. Introduce yourselves. John.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah, jeez. Everyone always hesitates. They're just like, no.
We rehearse this, Jason.
You know what? I'm gonna start just writing everything out for everybody.
Okay.
So you first,
My
you
name
second. There you go.
is John Ramos, and I am an amateur voice actor on the interweb circuits.
All right, Derek.
Hi, my name is Derek, and I am part of Otaku-Haven. How you doing?
And then we got Sid.
Hi, I'm Sid, and everyone knows me. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, we know Sid. Everyone knows Sid. That's it. You're just the only Sid that exists.
Everyone knows me.
Yeah, exactly. And finally, back by popular demand, Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm the one that's still waiting for the Man in the blue box.
No, from the Doctor Who's and everything. Anyway, today was another milestone in animation because there was a remake of one of our favorite shows from back in the day. Now, this is something I kind of grew up with. It was back in the day when the Dexter's Laboratory was a big deal, and I recall that, and it's, of course, the Powerpuff Girls. And they made a remake for it. And now I wonder why.
Because...
Passion.
Why did you waste our time with this? Anyway, I'm gonna tell you.
Blast.
You know, there we go. That's pretty much that's the whole thing kind of going upon. And what was it? Isn't the format for the new shows exactly like the old one, like down to like the friggin' like theme song, and
Yes.
and the way they wrote out the actual like what was it? The opening kind of thing. It even followed the same kind of thing with the new atrocious animation to kind of go with it. Ugh.
It's keeping with the nostalgia trip of the old school animation.
Yeah, but that's like, it brings up another thing though. Like, is it even really bringing anything new to the table? You know?
No,
The thing that
honestly,
I
not
heard
really.
was the song that Ringo Starr did for it, like a promotion. Like, I Want to Be a Powerpuff Girl, and it came with the weirdest animation I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, well, the one that, like, it was like a promo that showed, like, a week beforehand kind of thing?
Yeah, and it showed Ringo Starr with a bow on his head dressed up as a yellow Powerpuff Girl.
You know what? That was right, and I'm not gonna lie, that was actually kind of, like, okay. I expected, like, Cartoon Network to kind of do that, so that's fine.
That's something different.
Yeah. Well,
So weird to think of Ringo Starr in a dress.
But do you guys remember, like, what was it? They had a couple of, like, original songs for the old Powerpuff Girls that came out. It was just like, it's like,
yeah.
na 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 na.
Ami and Yumi.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Something like that. It was like
And
that
one
one
was
little like pop
"Love
band that kind of go,
makes the world go round or something like that.
or something like that. You know,
I-
powers in the superpower. You know, it was all, that shit was catchy. Oh, so that was always nice.
Yeah, I
Wasn't that
remember
the
that
movie?
song now.
Wait, what?
Yes. It was a
Wasn't that
movie.
song the movie?
I was actually gonna bring up the movie that I thought the animation in the movie looked good because it looked like the show. It just looked, more cleaned up and just, more,
Modernized.
yeah,
But that's
more cinematic.
we're gonna gripe on this a lot. We're gonna kind of get to the brass tacks and get to the bits and pieces on it though. But one of the big thing that really hit a lot of nerves when I talked to them about it is the animation for the new season, or is it new season or new series
Special.
or whatever? Special, whatever. There's no outlines, so the characters kind of merge in a little bit. There's kind of like this grainy pattern over everything, and even the faces start looking angular at some point. And to me, it just looks atrocious. I don't know. It just looks like it's almost like a step backward to the good old days of like, what was the old Powerpuff Girls made out of? It was like vectors, more or less. It was just like big, thick outlines and singular colors, and it was like, if a kid tried hard enough, they can make an actual episode of Powerpuff Girls and stuff like that.
They can actually draw them.
Yeah, exactly. And it would have been fine. It would have been great.
It looks like an over stylized anime one where they're pushing too hard to make the animation look good, but you could tell that they're trying too hard, and it comes out looking over stylized.
It looks like it's South Park where they're just kind of layering things on top of each other, like they're like made out of cardboard, you know?
Yeah.
And it's
I
like,
think that the CGI was actually terrible. However, like for like the city and everything, like the city of Townsville and all the city backgrounds and stuff like that, I thought they were actually pretty good. But the characters, especially the Powerpuff Girls, really weren't that good.
well, that's the thing though. Like, yeah, you know the point. You know what? The first original scene where they actually get into Townsville and stuff like that, and they showed like what was going on with it.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really pretty.
It kind of expands for what it is and everything, and like the way they kind of the animation of what they're doing works with backgrounds because it gives like a nice little fresh heightened overtone. Everything looks way more active, and it looks like it looks a little bit more immersive. It's just that when you add the characters, what you're supposed to be kind of focusing on, and they have no outline over if it's a bright background and they have a bright character over the bright background, you lose what you're supposed to be focusing on. Yeah, and that's.
But yeah, the characters do stick out like a sore thumb.
I thought they blended. So.
Especially Professor Utonium's hair. It kept pissing me off.
That looked really bad.
It was like they were trying to go for the mad scientist, like messy hair guy look. I think
it kind of looked like the single dad look a little bit. Like I was expecting him to get like 5 o'clock shadow at any given moment.
The Just for Men.
Yeah, pretty much.
Does it look like sipping straws, like on his head, like seriously, like black sipping straws just sticking out of his head, like. Oh, you can drink from my brain.
It's fine. What was it? One character I actually did like the new design for. It kind of worked with her is Miss Bellum.
Mm-hmm.
But Miss Bellum is always like it doesn't matter where she is though. She's always like kind of fun to kind of work with.
It's red hair and a dress.
That's it. And like they had that really cool dance scene for. Well, actually, no. You know what? The dance scene was kind of silly, but whatever. But like her head was like hidden by like just a random like traffic light. Just I don't know.
A low hanging traffic.
A low hanging traffic light that was like 4 or 5 feet above the ground.
They're trying to squeeze. They're trying to squeeze this like mini story about how the professor used to be a break dancer back in the day.
I kind of turned my head. And that scene was playing where they were on the float, and I'm wondering how they got to that point. I can't remember the transition. It was very jarring for me.
I think he saw the Dance Pants Revolution.
Yeah, that was it.
Game. He's like, oh crap, flashback.
Well, alright, that brings up another good point. How do you guys feel about like this pilot episode? Because remember, like a lot of series have to sell on the first episode, and that's why this is kind of so important. Animation aside, how did you feel this actually? Did it actually stay into the overall trueness of the Powerpuff Girls, and was it enjoyable regardless? So we'll go around the table with this one.
Wanna go with me first?
Yeah, sure.
Overall, they did get a lot of the voice actors back who've done the original voices.
Yeah,
which is pretty good. I think the only one that wasn't was Mojo. I'm not too.
They got a new guy for him.
But as far as that was pretty cool. As far as keeping within the mythos of the world, it felt like a regular episode. And the plot, it's a kiddie plot. I did like how Bubbles got a lot of time. Bubbles is awesome.
Yeah.
And I guess overall, it wasn't like a regular episode. Of course, it's special, but I think that it was enjoyable. Albeit for the CGI animation, I think they should have gone to the old school animation. And yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the plot line of it. It's a really basic plot line, and Mojo's trying to take over the world. Of course, nothing new there.
Well, it's and something stupid, but whatever.
But overall, I liked it, and I thought it was enjoyable.
Okay, Derek, what about you?
like you said before, you know, it's good to have the voice actors back. I miss Tara Strong. You know, she's a very popular voice actress.
Well, she's doing the My Little Ponies right now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she's mixed up with a lot of work right now. She's very busy. She's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Overall, I think they stayed true to the plot about three little girls possessing superpowers. You know, saving a city before bedtime.
Which they emphasized a lot. That was actually kind of annoying.
Yeah.
It was not a. It's not a funny joke in the first place, and they did it like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, but I mean they're doing their best to stay true to the theme. But as for they had some moments for the comedy. They had some pretty funny moments in there. The whole spoof about the Dance Revolution thing. Or what was it called? Dance Pants Revolution.
Yeah.
It actually had me giggle a little bit, and of course, the professor's flashbacks had me laughing a little bit here and there. The mayor of Townsville, of course, he made me laugh a couple of moments, especially with the pickle jar scene, which was pretty funny. Like, Blossom was like right there; she could have just brought it to him, pick it up, and just went on flying out of there, doing whatever she had to do. But no, she just left him hanging, you know. So,
bitch had it coming.
Yeah. So yeah, it's overall. I mean, I gave it out of 1 out of 10. I give it a 7. So
a C? No, okay, that's cool.
7. 7.
I go by.
That sounds better.
I go by New Jersey educational codes. It's fine.
All right. Yeah, but as we said before, the animation they can do a lot better with the animation.
All right. So it looks like it's not as bad as I initially griped about it because I hated this. I'm just like, but whatever. I'll rethink my thoughts. Stephanie, what do you think?
All right. I nitpicked this episode only because I was such a huge fan of the Powerpuff Girls. I still remember episodes, and the flashback with the professor annoyed me because in the original Powerpuff Girls, they showed that he went to preschool with Miss Bellum and what was their kindergarten teacher's name?
Miss Keene?
Yeah.
There we go, yeah.
It was
adorable.
Get Back JoJo. That was the episode where it showed that flashback. So when I saw dancing flashback, I'm like, wait, this doesn't work with the original series. So I don't know if they're trying to go in a different way and show something different, or they didn't think that some of us would remember that episode.
They're following what DreamWorks likes to do, where they just kind of like to throw in any reason to have a dance number with the characters. You know, they're happy about it. I did not like that scene. I don't know. For some reason, he looked buff, which didn't make any sense. I don't know. It's just that
because you're used to seeing the professor as like
a nerd.
Nerd. It's like, no, you can't be buff and you can't really be a dancer, and it was weird for me. But okay, I like the plot. I didn't like that they made the girls kind of like spoiled brats when they were getting
Oh my god.
I hate that because you are so used to seeing these girls. They're all for doing the right thing and occasionally sway a little bit, but not. I don't know. I don't see them throwing a temper tantrum.
They destroyed a department store. They should be thrown in jail.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They demolished it.
In reality, they would be thrown behind bars.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what their age is. For God's sakes, they possess superpowers.
If the bars will hold it.
Exactly.
That happened in one episode. Like, Blossom got thrown to jail for a little bit for stealing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I said, Townsville does checks on these kids and stuff like that, which is one of the things like I just didn't like. It didn't seem like the characters were specifically what they're supposed to do. I thought I'll get to it when I get to it, though. But like I said, I kind of got something gripe with each one of the characters too, going with it, especially the 3 girls. It's just kind of weird. All right, Stephanie, any more?
That's pretty much it. My only other thing was with Mojo Jojo. I felt like they made him dumb than what he was the original.
Yep.
He had genius plots that he would try to pursue and they would fail because the Powerpuff Girls would make him fail. Not really strange things like forming a softball team. That was a little...
Spoiler warning,
silly.
that was the point.
Yeah, that was really silly.
I will conquer the Townsville because of my softball team. AKA Prophet, anyway. Alright, finally we get to, Sid.
Okay. Well, yeah, what could I say? I thought the writing for the episode, I thought it was just okay. I didn't think it was particularly special, but it was okay. The acting they got right because they got all, most of the voice actors back. So obviously they did that right. I would agree that, I would agree that the biggest problem the special suffered as a whole was the whole Dance Pants Revolution being used as a device to tear the Powerpuff Girls apart, because wasn't the point of the series and even the movie as well, wasn't the point to that the series and the movie was to see the girls grow up together and endure all the adventures they endured together and see them grow as characters and not let one silly video game nearly destroy their team. I agree that was just definitely silly and kind of overdone. As for the professor and the new back history that they just randomly placed on him the way they did, I thought that was kind of an injustice as well. Because I wasn't never a diehard Powerpuff Girls fan, but I would watch it when it would be on, and I did like it. So I consider myself a casual fan, and from what all of you guys have already said, and from what I remember, the professor obviously had a different origin story in his past. And for them to just drop that on the fans, especially the hardcore fans like that, I see that as injustice. And then the whole thing with the dance scene, I thought that was completely silly from start to finish. When the professor persuades the mayor and the other woman, her name is Miss Bella, you guys said?
Yeah, Miss Bellum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he persuaded them to form that dance team. I thought that was stupid as well. So
you know what it was like? What was you got served? When did you come? That was 10 years ago. That's what it kind of felt like. We'll beat them with the power of smooth jazz.
I could kind of see what they were trying to go for in, I guess, terms of slapstick and the cheesiness of Powerpuff Girls, but I think it was just overdoing it.
Oh, yeah, that is
even the end result too is the professor breakdances and he still loses and he cries like a little girl on the side of the street. It's just it gets them back. It's really weird.
And it turned out to be the trump card which broke the girls free from the Dance Pants Revolution mind control devices or whatever, which it turned them into robots, right?
It follows a Disney format where the tears of a loved one can resolve anything, including restore life. Because hey, that's the power of love, It's usual, but you guys kind of hit on all the points though, and I really gotta say that's what kind of annoyed me the most about this episode. If it wasn't Blossom and Kurt, if there was a teamwork kind of aspect, that was the point where they have hey guys, broccoli time. That was their kind of teamwork bits, which I thought was really clever and cool because that's when they're working together. And I like the overall fact that it did have something, particularly something as stupid for children as a video game, because people do that. They do turn against their family and friends in order to play World of Warcraft or something like that. So video game obsessions. So that hit closer to home. Unfortunately, those were the only kind of bits that were actually kind of maybe clever and maybe serious to kind of go with it. I felt like they were really kind of aiming at a much younger audience now. with the kind of the silliness and the goofiness and the spit takes and everything. But
that was like the only moral to the story.
Yeah.
In this episode.
The main thing that kind of I didn't like is Blossom, first of all, encouraging them to be acting like children, which is, they acted way more bratty than I would have liked, particularly with the tantrum scene, but also with a lot of other stuff. I don't really recall, I think I liked Bubbles just because she had more FaceTime, I think.
I think Bubbles had a lot of FaceTime.
Yeah, but I didn't like Buttercup because Buttercup is a little bit more submissive than she usually is. She kind of came across that. I kind of expected it to be a lot more conflicting with a lot of things they were doing. But she just kind of like went along with it and whatever, was kind of faded into the dark background a little bit. The mayor...
That's a good point.
The mayor was spot on because he's supposed to be an idiot, so he can do whatever he wants.
Pickles.
Miss Bellum, I liked. I mean, like, the voice acting's fine though. I just like I'm gonna blame the writers on this. Unfortunately, like any kind of like story issue that kind of resulted as such. For that reason.
What do you think about the three characters that were kidnapped to get the chemical X?
I don't know. I'm not really against. With new characters, I don't really have like an opinion or something like that.
You know, it's funny. I forgot all about them, and so did the professor.
Yeah,
nobody cared about them.
You know what? To be completely honest, I kind of don't remember them either. So that's a bad mark against them that they're very forgettable.
That was a loose end that was not tied up very well at all.
The opera singer was still tied up though.
No, wait, no, they did. I think.
I thought that they were going to become those three that were kidnapped. I thought they were going to be put on the professor's dance team, but nope.
Nope.
Come on, they could have had the weasel as the mascot.
They had Ringo Starr, for God's sakes.
Ringo Starr.
They could have thrown a yellow submarine in there.
A badger, not a weasel.
Whatever.
Now, I want to throw this in there real quick. Two things. Like I think we mentioned this before. One, the nostalgia factor, and two, them promoting for the show. Like 2 years ago, we heard that this show was going to come back, and what I thought what they were trying to do originally was bring the sequel. Have an English version for the sequel that was made in Japan, Powerpuff Girls Seed. If you guys heard of it,
Powerpuff Girls Seed.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
That was the anime adaptation.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I want to see them in freaking like middle school and crap like that. That'd be great.
Just the drop. I didn't see it, but I heard it wasn't so good.
Oh,
really?
Dang it!
Well, that's what I thought because I saw a few of the episodes. I'm like, okay, this may where the show is going to really go, but then I heard they're going to restart the show. So as for the nostalgia factor, I'm thinking, okay, they're going to restart it from the very, very beginning, how they came to be known as the Powerpuff Girls.
Well,
like we saw in the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was going to be like starting off like that. First episode, the Powerpuff Girls. Nope, it didn't turn out to be what I expected it to be. So, yeah, pretty upset about that. But the nostalgia factor, it really affected everybody. Like, all you see is all this hype over the internet about, there's going to be a new Powerpuff Girls show coming out in 2014. Yippee! Yeah. And we get this.
And it's like, childhood smash.
It's not like it doesn't completely. You know what? This podcast talking to you guys kind of made me realize that it's not the worst thing ever. It's just the worst thing ever to look at. So
I can't tell the difference.
But like the thing is, like, it just because it has like a lot of like, these mistakes and flaws with the first episode and stuff like that, there's still something there to at least watch. I will probably not watch it for that reason, for a couple of those reasons though, because I feel like I'm not really gonna be missing anything.
But like you said before, you gotta impress people the first episode if you want to make profit.
And I've seen so many like reboots and season 2s of whatever where the pilot episode is just garbage. Good lord, ugh. Anime does this all the time. It's the worst. Anyway, Let's kind of end it with our kind of final thoughts and everything. That look deep down, look into your soul, and ask yourself, would you be watching this as a fan and a fan of the series? And we're gonna go in the same order. We'll start with John.
You know what? If it was to become something popular yet again, I think it actually could be a pretty good series if they do it right. I don't know if you want to talk about different story arcs, keeping continuity with the older series and the newer series.
I'm really not expecting them to do anything clever with a story arc.
Yeah, I mean, it's too smart, but but it'd be really cool if they try to do something like that,
Yeah.
like Doctor Who or something like that, where it just keeps the continuity of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Derek.
I'm such a I love to contradict myself. I'm gonna have to change that from that 7 to a 6. Yeah, because like you guys really narrowed it down for me. Like, I mean, it's one of those shows where, I mean, you think it's gonna be intense because of all the hype, but it's not. It's not gonna be one of those times where, oh yes, the nerd community has triumphed again. Like, no, it's not really one of those days. But however, it does have the potential to step up, to rise to the occasion, and become that show that we all know and love. So,
and that brings up another point. The action sequences for a superhero thing were kind of bland, but whatever.
Sure.
All right. Stephanie.
Just want to say something really quick. As for hype, I think that hype is always underwhelmed. Like, you think about it so much that it's gonna be the best thing ever. And then you see it, and it's just like, it could have been better.
Yeah, remember,
exactly.
look at Dead Island.
That's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
Look at Dead Island, the Dead Island review. It had the best trailer ever, and the game was garbage.
Yes,
the game was garbage.
buggy.
So you never can live up to.
I'll give you an even better example. Duke Nukem.
Oh jeez.
Oh.
Yeah.
That had a thing of just taking so long that people wanted to see what kind of train wreck came out of it.
10 years.
It's like, yeah, it was in the oven. It was in the oven. It was in the microwave for so long. But let's finally pull it out and see what we get.
It was microwaved, ovened, and flamed.
More than 10 years.
Oh jeez.
They have one job.
Whatever. Okay, Stephanie.
I'm gonna give the show a chance just because the nostalgia is there, and I'm hoping that they will flop. So I'll give it a couple episodes, but if it doesn't kind of live up to what I'm used to, I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna stick with the original and my 10-year anniversary DVD set.
Cool. All right. Finally, we get to Sid.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is just a little hard to say, but I think it is a little tough to say with a series like this and I think that all of you did a nice job shedding light for me on the whole thing.
Thank you, Sid.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, if they're trying to reboot, a cartoon like this, one that's as popular as this, and like with anything that, like any show or cartoon that already has like a lot of merit to it and as a really dedicated fan base to it. I mean, there is obviously going to be a lot of pressure and hype and expectations to it, and I hate to say it, but like, I think for the fans that are like solely banking on just like the nostalgia factor alone on a reboot or remake like this, whatever it's trying to be, I think that their expectations are just going to be brought down because, like, how could they possibly? I think that there are moments that they could capture from the original that could come close to hitting home. Yeah, like close to hitting home with the original, but yeah, like as a whole, it couldn't ever be completely the same as what it used to be, especially like with the times right now and the times back then, and obviously the animation has changed, and we all said our complaints on that. I don't see them changing the animation from what they've already done. So I mean, I would just say for myself, I mean, yeah, I would give it a chance, maybe 1 or 2 more episodes. But if I don't like the writing, then I'm just gonna part ways with it.
I'm really appreciating the kind of critical thought that everyone's kind of putting into this. This is a children's show. It's great.
We grew up on this.
I know, it really is. It brings me
Yeah.
back to the good old days when Cartoon Network was good.
This is a
Cartoons.
90s show we're talking about.
And finally, my opinion, I'm gonna give a huge, underwhelming no. I'm probably not going to. If a new episode comes on and I'm home and I have something else to do, I'll probably do something else. If it's on TV, it's whatever. One thing will change my mind. I really want to see if they do any adaptations of the most cruelest of cruel, the most evil of evil, the dreaded him, which I think is just the most awesome concept ever, considering what he is. He's just this big, effeminate devil thing with claw hands.
That should have been the character.
Which is awesome.
Yes, they should have brought him.
And he was actually one of the funniest. He was one of the funniest characters on the entire show in the first season. So I was just really, I want to see what they do with him, and hopefully they have the same kind of humor that spews out of his mouth. Personally, and that would if that occurs and I watch it and I like it, I'll probably give the show a 6 or a 7, like Derek's going on.
I give it a 6 out of 10 as well.
All right, so it gets a solid D according to the educational system.
So
Anything
if I
5
make
or
it
less
10
is an
out
F.
of 10.
5 or less is an F or an F minus. It's fine.
It was
more
average.
effort.
We're pretty extreme up here, but whatever. All right. So we're gonna. I did not expect it to go this long. This is actually kind of awesome.
I just caught that.
All right, guys, we're probably gonna call it. Like I said, thanks a lot for listening, and thank you guys for really kind of putting your really kind of looking at it from a bunch of different angles I never would have considered. So, like I said, good props to you guys, really.
Thank you.
And like I said,
Thank you
thanks a
very
lot,
much.
everybody, and have a good night. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.